Well, hi guys and welcome. This is Stuart and I'm excited to bring you this video today. I'm about to tour the showroom for one of the most exciting developments in Phnom Penh, Cambodia, if not the pinnacle property in Cambodia today. It's called Odom, O-D-O-M. It's on one of their very significant boulevards here in the very famous Pt1 area, which is one of the main or only areas that you may choose to invest in Phnom Penh if you were to look at this market. So this is the structure here. It's actually sitting on the very site of the development and covering it all up. They've already done all the basement and parking and they're up to ground level on the other side. But we're going to go and talk to the lead sales representative on that project and see what he has to say, and I hope you enjoy and see what's going on in other parts of the world not too far from home. Okay, let's go check it out. Well, hi guys and welcome. This is Stuart and I am in the Odom development showroom here. It's a masterpiece that's going on here. Grand piano over there, all the photos and stuff over here. These are the actual layouts for the residential side. We don't need to go through that in detail right now. This is actually the development here, or a mock-up of it. And there's quite a lot to see here, and there's a bigger plan over here. So we're going to go over now and we're going to meet the chief sales guy here. His name's T, and let's welcome him now. T, good morning.
Stuart, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Thanks for coming back and really appreciate it. Let me say, this is a surprise actually. I didn't expect to see you again, but thank you for coming by.
So, just to give them some context, one of my real estate agents I've been talking to here, friends with T, both of them have spent time in Melbourne, Australia.
Yep.
And he brought me by to look at this development. He said, you need to see what's going on here. And further backstory to this, I was at a networking function at the Sofitel. And at this function I met a French guy, don't recall his name, but his business...
Let's call him Pierre.
why not? His business is doing all that air conditioning on buildings in Phnom Penh. So I don't know or believe he's the contractor here, but I got talking to him about which buildings to buy and where to buy and whatnot in Phnom Penh, and he said, I wouldn't touch many of them, if not most of them. And he said, for me and my money, he said, I would only buy in Odom. And I'm like, what's Odom? So we are now in the showroom for this flagship development called Odom, and you'd call it a truly 5-star development here?
Absolutely, international standard. And our benchmark is Singaporean standard. We want to emphasise that.
Yeah. So just on that again now, so the gentleman T has said Singaporean standard. Many Australians will be familiar with Singapore, but not the term Singapore standard. What does that mean?
Well, I guess, Singaporean standard is international standard, so to speak. I mean, everything we do, inside, outside, design, construction standard adopts, the highest level that is out there. Yeah.
So we could say world class.
World class.
5-star.
100%. Yeah. Absolutely.
Nothing left unturned.
Yeah.
Nothing out of sync.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I'm going to let T talk now and tell you about this incredible development. Now, of course, as you know, I've never recommended. I don't sell property in Australia. Never have. Never will. I'm certainly not going to sell it overseas either. However, this is for educational purposes only. If you want to take this further, we're going to give you T's details here at the end, and you can have a look at it. But I must admit, T, I came here for the first time a year ago, and I knew nothing about Cambodia. It's not widely publicised in Australia, aside from Angkor Wat, of course, your incredible temples and civilization that's been unearthed from the jungle. And when I got here, I filmed a video on the rooftop of my hotel, and there was just cranes everywhere. And I thought this was a sleepy little riverside town, and it's massive. I think population's 2 million.
Just slightly under, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what caught my attention at an international conference I went to was they said the population is estimated to double in the next, I think it was 10 years or by 2030, I can't remember.
Yeah.
But this country is urbanising quickly, as is what's happened in the region, particularly China, what's happened there over the last 30 years. And, maybe Cambodia is just a little bit lagging behind that, but catching up very, very quickly. So now, T, tell us about this incredible development of yours and what's it got in store for people.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure. I always feel excited and privileged to be able to share the project itself. The project name is Odom, and I think I want to start there because the name Odom is a Khmer name. There is no direct translation, but some of the key word that captures the meaning are plentiful, excellent and magnificent. So I think truly we will deliver all these things once it's finished. But also, as a building, to put it in layman's term, it's a high-end vertical community that has many different amenities and functions, which I will go through shortly. But before I do that, there is a tie-up between the name Udom, O-D-O-M, and the street Norodom. I want to cover the location aspect because, you know, wherever you buy around the world, location is number one, number two, number three, so to speak.
Yes.
So Norodom itself has historical and cultural significance, being named after a current royal family, but it dates back to 1890. So that's it's a very special street. So to international buyers, to get them to understand the significance of the street, it's our Orchard Road in Singapore,
Yes.
our Sukhumvit in Thailand,
Yes.
and sometimes people think I'm crazy, but it's also our 57th Street in Manhattan.
Right.
And let me tell you why.
Okay.
Okay, they have the Hudson River, we have the Mekong River just across the road,
Yeah.
right? They have Ritz-Carlton, we'll have Ritz-Carlton soon.
Yes.
And some of the wealthiest people live or owns property on this road.
Yes.
So we call it the Billionaire Boulevard.
Yes.
Yep. And furthermore,
I think you mentioned that last time. I think you said more millionaires and billionaires live in this or own property in this
Correct.
than anywhere else, probably in Cambodia.
you know what they say in investment circles? Follow the smart money.
Right.
Yep.
Yep.
Good. So just going back to the project. Sorry if I get carried away, but
You're quite welcome to. It's your project.
yeah. So why is it a mixed-use vertical community? Of course, normally a community is spread out horizontally, but we've done it the opposite in a vertical manner. So the first component is the residential, which is quite unique in terms of the number of condos based on the footprint of 5,000 square meters. Now, normally, if you do your research, and I'm sure you have, a project sitting on this size land of 5,000 square meters will tend to have somewhere between 500 to 1,000 condominium. But just like 57th Street, high building, low condo count. So what we have here is only 138.
Wow.
Yeah. And on each floor plate, there are between 5 to 7 condos divided into two sections.
Yep.
So essentially, you may only have one neighbour or at the most 3 neighbours. Yep. So yeah.
Okay, let me stop you there. So one of the things I found in my investigations, there's a number of, if you walk through the shopping centres, you'll see a number of large, usually Chinese-led developments, big towers, many apartments.
Yeah.
And when I inquire how many per floor, I remember one of them had 22 apartments per floor.
Yeah.
And I said, how many elevators? And they said 4. I said, is that going to be a problem? I know in Australia we have, where I'm living, kind of on the Gold Coast in Australia at the moment, the Crown Casino Group there owns a casino, a very famous casino on the Gold Coast. It's the Folk Group. Oh, you know well?
From Melbourne.
Okay, so they've built towers there as well, and I've heard some of my friends who do Airbnb there, they said there's almost punch-ups there every morning at 10 a.m. because there's not enough elevators to service the people getting out, which have to get out by 10 a.m, which is check-out time at the hotel. So I know elevators are a big thing when it comes to high-rise. So you either have more elevators or, in this case, you have a lot less apartments per floor. So that's a very encouraging thing for residents. And I think it probably lends more towards owner-occupiers straight away.
Correct. It is. I think most of our projects prioritise owner-occupier because our main focus is creating community.
Yep.
And the only way you can create community, you have a static population. So we always prioritise that.
Yeah. Okay.
Most of the buyers thus far has been 50% local. And then 50% international, if I can name some country, Australia, America, UK, France, Germany, Sweden, Taiwan, Japan, Korea, and I remember this because it's an interesting country, Liechtenstein.
Okay.
Did I say that properly?
I'm not going to correct you if you're not.
Just finishing up on the residential side.
So just be clear, so the residential side is the darker grey tower here,
Yeah.
and this we'll get to in a moment, is your
This is the
commercial and
commercial building.
other.
So just finishing off on the residential side, there are 8 layouts. Ranging from 1 bedroom, there are 2 choices, 78, 80 square meters net. So that's about 1,000 square foot or something like that. I'm not sure the exact conversion. The 2 bedrooms, there are 4 layouts, A, B, C, D. 110 to 142, quite large, 2-bedroom, 2-balcony. The 3-bedroom is close to 200, and then what they call piste resistance.
Yes, you're full of French words, aren't you?
It's at 280, which has a 180-degree panoramic views to the Mekong. So it's certainly high-end living at its very best. Yeah.
Okay, so while you mention that, just on this diagram here, where is the river? What's the aspect?
The river is towards the east of the building, which is towards the back here. Yeah. So we're here. We're about 1.5 kilometers away.
So this is east?
East, yes.
This
Correct,
is east,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So that is north?
Correct, yeah.
And the Mekong is to the east where you're standing?
Where I'm standing, yeah.
Okay.
So we're about 1.5k from the Mekong. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Great.
And just a final mention is the full rooftop garden at the residential site. We prioritize livability and exclusivity also. So this is a private garden, no sky bar, no sun anything. It's just a nice getaway to just walk your dog, your cat, or some people in Cambodia that have interesting pets. I won't mention, but yeah, just a nice quiet park.
Well, I'm curious now, what's he mean pets? Is this like Mike Tyson lives here with a
Tigers
tiger?
and lion.
Really?
Yes,
They do?
Yes.
I was joking, but he's not.
No,
Okay.
it's true,
Okay.
it's true. But I'm sure we have some rules that won't allow certain types of pets, of course.
Yeah, so no walking your tiger before 7 a.m. or something like that.
Correct.
I don't want to be picking up the
Yeah.
poo on this animal.
Yeah. Now, moving to here,
Okay.
which is the grey tall building. But before I get into the
Can I bring you back just quickly before we move there? So I noticed here you've got all the 4 beds labelled, 2 beds. So the higher apartments are the bigger apartments?
essentially speaking,
general?
but there are mixtures of
Okay, yep.
1 bedroom and 3 bedroom, but they are of different orientations. Yeah.
Okay, and what is all this down the bottom? There's
There are 5 levels of retail podium, but also it's a community square because there are a massive amount of green space integrated into the
Yes.
whole development.
Okay.
In fact, there is a total of 8,000 square meters of green space and community space. Once again, I use the word community. It's something that we prioritize in all of our developments.
Yeah.
So basically, shopping centre, fast food restaurants, also private gym and pool for the residents, exclusive
Perfect.
use as
Yeah,
well.
yep. I noticed the towers are connected as well by a
Yep.
walkway. Is that going to be, that's going ahead? That
Correct.
connection?
So the
So you're expecting a number of the owners to have offices in here, or
correct. So
Something like that?
the idea is to create an ecosystem, right? People who live here may work there, and
Yep.
people who work here may live there. But also, we want to make sure that there are 2 separation between the quiet place, but also the entertainment place. So if they want to cross over and go to bars and lounges and so on, they can.
yes.
But in essence, if a person did not want to leave this building,
Yep.
they don't have to.
Wow.
They can eat, sleep, work, and everything. Essentially, yeah.
Okay. All right. I've noticed the time on this video, so I know this is going to be a 2-part video now. So right now, I'm actually going to give us a chance to pause here,
Sure.
and then we're going to come back with part 2, and we'll talk about the commercial side of this tower.
Thanks.
Catch you guys in a sec.
Yes, sir.